square the locals call the Field of Miracles under the blue skies of Tuscany stands a structure known all over the world. It's not the tallest, not the largest, not even the most lavish, but it is unique. It began leaning before it was even finished. And despite predictions from architects, scientists, and skeptics alike, it's been standing for almost 9 centuries. This is the Leaning Tower of Pisa, a tower that was meant to be the pride of a powerful city, but instead became its greatest mistake. And yet, this very flaw turned it into a symbol more famous than any of Pisa's victories in trade or war. Today, we'll uncover its full story. Why did it begin to tilt during construction? What secrets lie beneath its foundations? And why, after centuries, hasn't it toppled? We'll explore its legends, the wars it survived, the science that saved it, and the modern engineering marvels that keep it standing. And maybe by the end we'll understand. Is the Leaning Tower of Pisa truly a miracle? Or just a remarkably lucky accident? To understand why the Leaning Tower exists, we need to travel back to the 12th century. At the time, Pisa wasn't just a city. It was a thriving maritime republic. Its ships traded with the Middle East, its navy defeated Saracens, and its merchants returned with treasures from across the Mediterranean. Pisa wanted to display its wealth and dominance for all to see. And what better way than through a monumental architectural statement? This is how the idea of the Piazza dei Miracoli, the Square of Miracles, was born. 3 grand structures would rise here: a majestic cathedral, the symbol of spiritual power, a baptistery for sacred ceremonies, and a freestanding bell tower, designed to complete the ensemble and awe the world. By the time the tower was to be a masterpiece, over 55 meters tall, 8 tiers, with shining white marble arches that glimmered in the sun. Construction begins. According to tradition, the project was led by Bonanno Pisano, though historians still debate if he was the true mastermind. For the citizens of Pisa, this tower was to be more than a bell tower. It was to be their eternal mark of triumph. But within just a few years, that triumph would turn into a nightmare. By the time the 3rd level was completed, disaster struck. The tower began to lean. The culprit? The soil beneath Pisa. Unlike solid rock, the ground here is a mix of clay, sand, and ancient marine deposits. Soft, unstable, and prone to shifting. The foundation of the tower? Barely 3 meters deep. For a structure of such weight, a fatal oversight. As soon as the 3rd tier was finished, one side of the tower started sinking. It tilted roughly half a meter, and that was just the beginning. Pisa's council convened in panic. Some argued the unfinished tower should be torn down before it collapsed. Instead, they decided to halt construction, hoping the soil would settle. That pause lasted not months, but nearly a full century. Pisa was engulfed in wars with Genoa, Lucca, and Florence. The tower stood unfinished, slowly sinking, almost forgotten. By the time work resumed in the 1270s, the lean was undeniable. The new architects resorted to an ingenious trick, building the upper levels at a slight angle to counteract the tilt. If you look closely today, the tower doesn't just lean, it curves subtly, like a giant stone S. After nearly 2 centuries, the tower is finally completed. It leans by about a meter, but it stands. No one could have guessed. This lean, once seen as a curse, would become its greatest blessing. In the centuries that followed, the Leaning Tower became more than just a bell tower. It became a witness to history, and the source of countless legends. The most famous? Galileo Galilei. According to legend, he dropped 2 spheres of different weights from the tower to prove that objects fall at the same rate, regardless of their mass. Did it really happen? There's no definitive record, but the story endures and adds to the tower's mystique. During times of war, the tower served as a lookout. In 1944, during World War II, German forces used it to observe Allied troop movements. American soldiers were ordered to destroy any potential enemy observation posts. But as the legend goes, one officer, struck by the beauty of the Piazza dei Miracoli, hesitated. The tower was spared, Through earthquakes, bombardments, and even restoration missteps, the Leaning Tower survived. But with every passing century, its tilt grew worse. By the late 20th century, the top was leaning more than 5 meters off vertical. Engineers warned it was no longer a question of if it would fall, but when. By 1990, the situation was dire. The tower's tilt was critical, and it was officially closed to the public for safety reasons. For a city whose identity and economy revolved around the tower, losing it was unthinkable. A team of international engineers, geologists, and architects gathered to save it. Their solution? Surprisingly simple but brilliantly effective. Instead of trying to pull the tower upright, they removed small amounts of soil from beneath the higher side, allowing gravity to gently settle the tower into a safer position. This delicate operation lasted over a decade. In 2001, the tower's tilt had been reduced from 5.5 meters to about 4 point. Engineers declared it stable for at least the next 200 years. Today, the Leaning Tower leans at about 3.9 meters, still striking, still iconic, but safe for the millions of visitors who climb its 294 steps each year. Today, the Leaning Tower is not just a bell tower. It's one of the most photographed landmarks in the world. Millions of tourists come each year. Most pose with the playful illusion of holding up the tower. But those who venture inside discover its true character. Spiral stairs that seem to twist oddly, the sensation that gravity itself is tilted, and the breathtaking view from the top, where you can see the red rooftops of Pisa and the rolling hills of Tuscany. The tower is more than a tourist attraction. It's a symbol that even a flaw, even a mistake, can become something extraordinary. And perhaps that's why the Leaning Tower of Pisa has captured the world's imagination for nearly 900 years. The Leaning Tower of Pisa is a story about human ambition, nature's unpredictability, and the strange ways history turns mishaps into miracles. It began as a symbol of Pisa's might. It became a symbol of failure. And now it stands as a symbol of resilience and of humanity's ability to adapt and endure. The next time you see someone posing, pretending to hold up the tower, remember, this structure has outlasted empires, survived wars, and withstood earthquakes. And maybe, just maybe, it will outlast us all.